Hi, welcome to another episode of Changing Times. Our guest is Claire Morton. She's a yoga instructor and a life coach. Please enjoy and stay safe. Hi Claire, how's everything going?
Hello, David. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very well. With the sun's still out, so that's all
Yeah.
the better.
Yeah. Apparently, it's going to rain tomorrow, but or is it? It might be when it's Wednesday tomorrow, isn't it? I've lost my track of days, but apparently it's going to rain tomorrow. So I'm hoping it doesn't, because it's been gorgeous the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? Well, it's been gorgeous since we've been stuck in, isn't it? So
I mean,
hoping it
I
stays.
think it would have been worse for us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely made a pleasant difference to being
So,
staying in, isn't it?
for everyone that's watching,
Yeah.
you want who you are, what's your business, what do you do?
Okay, right. My name's Claire Morton, and I am a yoga teacher and also a coach, a life coach. So, bit of background about me. Worked in HR and training for the last 20 years, and worked in the corporate and the public sector, corporate world, private sector, public sector, working with people, and just I absolutely love working with people. I love helping people develop and train and learn. And then 3.5 years ago, I decided to leave and set up my own business, which is called L&D, which is a training business. And I go into corporates and deliver like leadership training, coaching, mindset and personal development training, that type of stuff. And then on the other hand of that, I have private clients who I see and teach and coach, and also do yoga and meditation teachings with them. So it's sort of like two spins of the business. You've got L&D, the corporate side, and then you've got the holistic well-being side as well, which is the road I'm sort of going down now, with obviously with what's going on.
So obviously with all the pandemic and the lockdown, I would imagine your business would be going out to clients and being interactive and with that obviously personal touch, that because you are full of life and you want to make people happy. And
Yeah.
so how has that impacted the business on not being able to do that?
Mm-hmm. So impacting me personally, it was tough when we went into lockdown, because as you know, as we've said, I'm a people person and I love being around people and I love the energy that brings, because spending too much time on my own, I know, drains me and brings me down. So I do like to be with that energy. So me personally, yeah, mental health suffered a little bit, emotionally suffered a little bit, because I missed the human touch. Even though I've got my family here, which is great, I'm missing the family and friends. And then business wise, because all of my stuff was face to face with corporates, most of this, well, everything that was booked in for March, April, May, June is all gone. So like yourself, you know, all of your face-to-face work's gone, because we obviously need to look after ourselves. So it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've got no income. I don't know, what if Mark stops working, who's my husband, but fortunately he didn't. So he's okay, because he does work from home as well. So it left me in a position of, okay, everybody's in the same boat. There's nothing I can actually do about the pandemic. So it was, you know, I was doing what I normally do with my clients in terms of what have I got control over, and what have I got, what do I just have to accept. So it took a couple of weeks to get over that. But then in the background, about 6 months ago, I was contemplating setting up a group, an online coaching group for men. And I kept putting it off because I was busy and I was on the road all the time delivering on my face-to-face stuff. So I thought, right now is the prime time for me to set up this online business called the Purpose Pusher Project for men, helping men with their mental health, their health and well-being, their emotional health, physical health, and start up this online coaching group. So that is what I have been doing. And that's been great. I only started that a couple of weeks, and I'm learning how to build an online community and an online business, as opposed to being all face to face, even though I would still love it when we come out of this reset period, that we do still see each other face to face. It might not be as much, but hopefully it will. So business suffered in the first few months. I've now gone online. I'm doing yoga classes online, which is great. It's helping people with their, obviously, mental health and physical health, as well as helping me. And then I'm building this online community and business, and I'm starting to talk to clients again who are furloughed staff, who are starting to bring staff back, about maybe doing some online training for corporates in terms of leadership and mindset development and some health and wellbeing stuff. So yeah, it affected me in the first couple of weeks, but then it was like, come on, you need to get your shit together. I don't know if you can swear on this, sorry, but and then just crack on. And you know, I'm healthy. I'm really grateful. I'm with the family. I'm also homeschooling the kids at the moment as well, which is a challenge, but it's time with the kids. So I am grateful for this time, because it does make you think about life and how busy that we were.
So have you found the transition easy, putting all your services and what you offer onto online? And has it been received the same way, or have you found that it's got more popular?
Okay, so first of all, in terms of going online, because I'm not the most technical of people, that was a bit of a challenge. So I've learned a lot, which is great, because I'll always put my mind to something if I need to do something, but it's not a strength of mine. So yeah, Zoom. Thank God for Zoom. Do you know what? Because I think some people can be quite negative about technology and saying that we're always on it, and social media, and I get that. But if it wasn't for technology in the last 10, 12 weeks, I don't know how we would have all communicated. So it's got an absolute, you know, big place in my heart, because I've still been able to connect with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think I've been to a lot more online networking events. So I've been meeting people. This would never have happened in face-to-face world, because I was always too busy to go to networking events and mix with people. I was traveling up and down the country, then I'd be tired, and then I'd go, okay, I'll go to the next networking event, and then I'd never turn up because I'd be somewhere else. So you literally log on to Zoom. You don't really have to get dressed up. You don't have to drive there an hour before and pay for parking and pollute the air. So you just log on, you do your hour, your 2 hours training, or whatever it is, you're done, and then you can go on and move on to the rest of the day. So whereas if that was face to face, you would have spent, for a 2 hour meeting, you might have spent 4 hours traveling and getting ready. So I think for me, it's the way going forward. I still think it's better for us to be meeting face to face, because again, that connected energy. But we don't need to do this. So people who are commuting for 2 hours each way a day, and if they can work from home, and also save the planet by not, you know, throwing out the emissions into the environment, and also having more time for themselves, so that they're not as busy with the travel.
Yeah.
You could be logged on it. You can be logged on at 8 o'clock instead of be sitting in the car. Finish at 4, and then you're home. So I do think it's forced us to come out of the traditional way of thinking about what work actually is. But I've always been quite used to home working anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I'm out delivering, that's when you go somewhere. But I use my home as my office. So I like that. It gives me that balance, as long as you make sure that you shut your laptop when you've finished work, or you shut the door to the office and you don't mix it with personal. So yeah.
No,
It was pretty hard, but I do, technical wise, but I do think it's a good thing.
yeah, and obviously a lot what's coming across is time with you, and you've got a lot of time. Do you find that you was too busy? It goes along with the question of, have you been able to reflect on what business you had before the pandemic? And have you been able to plan and think, like, I need to work on that aspect and maybe change it and going forward? And obviously, time is it's a big thing. And do you find you're going to be more conscious of the time you do work?
Yeah, definitely going forward. I mean, we've all got the same 24 hours a day, haven't we? We've all got the same amount of hours, but it's how you prioritize what you want to do. So yeah, I mean, even though I was talking about, I talk about time management and personal effectiveness to people, I wasn't doing that myself because I was too busy in the business instead of taking a step back and looking, from the bigger picture and looking on the business instead of being in the business all the time. And yourself, David, with your business, when you are on your own and you're an entrepreneur, or you are everything. You are your accountant, you are your HR, you are your admin, you are your technical skill, unless you hire that out, which is what I want to start doing soon, is outsourcing. But you're constantly working to get stuff busier and better. So you end up working harder to get more money in, and then you don't really have a personal life. So for me, the travel, especially because I was doing a lot of travel down south, which if it was going to London on the train, it's only 2 hours from Runcorn, so that was fine. I actually liked it, and I could get stuff done on the train. But doing other trips, I could be in the car to Manchester for 2 hours. So that doesn't need to happen anymore, really. If I do need to go, I'll go, but we just maybe do it online via Zoom or any other type of technology that we can use. And it's made me slow down, it's made me think, it's made me reflect. And I constantly go on about a Dr. Wayne Dwyer saying about, we are human beings, we're not human doings. We need to stop doing stuff, or stop and reflect and go, what me doing this thing of running around or, chasing stuff, does it really need to happen, or do I just need to stop, say no? Because a lot of us tend to feel scared of saying no to people as well, don't we? And we say yes. And I've learned to start saying no a little bit more, or I can't do that right now, I can fit that in next month, or just being a little bit more proactive. And I'm looking more at me and what I need for my business and also for my family. So a promise I've made to myself is I am spending more time with my kids, my dog, new cat, my husky, and my husband. So there's no way I'm going to go back to doing all that travelling. And I don't think it would be expected either. I think other people and businesses will look at this and say, we can't go back to the way that we were. There's no way we can go back to the way we were. It was just ridiculous. Everybody was running around too much. But for what?
Well, that's it. And I think people are using this technology now as a pre-meeting. So, like, if you've got a meeting with someone that you would ordinarily go and, like you said, travel down to London for X amount of hours, and then basically only go and just say, this is what I do, and try and sell your business instead. But now I think, we've spoken to a few people that have said that they're doing that online on things like this and are still getting the same results of getting the work. So it eliminates trips and time.
And then
the next time we're going to do the job.
So
totally agree. It's a new way of thinking. And do you find that you've changed your business to accommodate this the new normal, and trying to help with trying to help people with the new mindset of the way we're doing things?
I've definitely going down, as I said, the online route. So setting up a Facebook community. I've got a Facebook group for yoga, just called Yoga with Claire. So anybody can be invited into that group, and that's just where I advertise all my meditation and yoga teachings and give people some useful information to help them with mindset as well. And then I've got the men's Facebook group called Purpose Pushers, and that's slowly but surely building, and I'm giving some live training and information inside there. And then that then creates people coming to me to inquire about some business or private services that will then obviously be paid for. So it's definitely those two things are going on at the moment. So it's more yoga one-to-one coaching for men. However, I've still got my L&D business that when businesses are ready, they're sort of saying, okay, well, we want you to come in and do some coaching, or it could even be health and wellbeing or yoga, because I think businesses are starting to take note now of how helpful yoga, meditation and everything can be with us at this moment. And it's thousands of years old, and it needs to come back into our culture so that we can be more present and be less stressed. So yeah, business, I can't see me going back traveling like 10, 15 days a month up and down the country, spending a fortune on petrol as well. I've saved so much money the last 3 months in petrol and expenses. It's unreal. So that's made me say that was probably a bit unnecessary. However, I think what you've just said, pre-meetings via Zoom or technology, and when you do meet and you deliver, great, but you haven't had to do all of that travel if you don't need to. It's not necessary. So yeah, I think for me, definitely more going online. Or I will look forward to doing some things where you do get together with people, like events and, you know, whatever that looks like. And I'd love to be able to go back to do teaching yoga in a room full of people so that I can help them and connect with them on a better level. So the yoga thing over Zoom is good for now, and it's introducing a lot of people to yoga at a very big, basic level, because people get frightened and think, I'm not flexible, it's not for me, I'm not strong or fit enough. And it's not just about the body, it's about the mind. So I've just introduced beginners level yoga, because people are doing it in the comfort of their own home. They don't have to have the camera on. I prefer that they do, so I can check on them. And they feel more comfortable than going to a class thinking that they're going to be looked at and judged for not being bendy and flexible. So I explain it's not all about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see myself going down more the holistic route online, but then hopefully doing some retreats or speaking events later on down the line. But they will be few and far between, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So as far as like a business and they thinking, right, I'm liking what I'm hearing, but I want to know what Claire can offer me. So tell everyone, what can you offer? What's special about Claire?
What's special about me? Oh, that's a deep question, Dave. For me, about me, I love people. What you see is what you get. I'm an open book. Probably never used to be as open because I was brainwashed by the corporate world, and you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't do that, and you've got to go by the rules. And hence why I left 3.5 years ago. Loved my job, and again, it was all about people. Prior to that, I knew you from QVC, didn't I? And I used to work in customer services many years ago. And again, it was serving people, it was being with people. Prior to that, I worked in travel agents, and then prior to that, John Lewis, when it was George Henry Lee. So I was always serving people. So for me, serving people, giving people a service, helping people develop and grow. And hence why I've gone down the route of neuro-linguistic programming, coaching, mindset, yoga philosophy and science, neuroscience, and want people to realise what potential that they've got inside themselves that they can use to have the best possible life that they can live, basically. I never say anything in one sentence, do I?
It's got so many layers, and that's what people want to see, is that you're not just a plain piece of paper. You've got so many layers, and you've got so much that you can offer. And so for people that want to get involved with you, and so how can they find you on social media, and where can they find out more?
Yeah, okay. Well, it's probably not hard not to find me because I've got that many things in social media to contact me on. So on Facebook, my personal profile is Claire Morton, Morton. The Facebook group that I've got for men, the community called Purpose Pushers, that's what it's actually called. The Facebook group's called Purpose Pushers. But all of the links to my groups, my private groups, are on my Facebook profile. So when you look at the bio of my Facebook profile, you've got my Instagram on there, which is just at the Purpose Pusher. You've got the Facebook Yoga with Claire group, the Facebook Purpose Pusher for Men Only group. My LinkedIn profile, again, is just Claire Morton. And then I've also set up a YouTube channel, which I've been putting up meditations and some stuff to help, some NLP techniques to help people with anxiety and stress and depression at the moment. That's just Claire Morton, and if you just type in Claire Morton meditation, I should come up on the videos. I need to do more on them. And then the last one I've got a radio show on Wirral Wave Radio called All Being Well, and it's a wellness show. So I'm up to about my 12th episode at the minute. So each episode is on a different element of being healthy and looking after your well-being. So whether that's spiritually, physically, your career, in terms of lockdown, how people have been feeling. Then I have guests on the show as well. So that's been keeping me busy, and that's just broadcast every 2 weeks. So if anyone wants to listen to anything on there, that link is also on Facebook, or they can contact me, message me on Facebook or my website, which is www.landb.com. So see, I've got loads.
No, that's brilliant. And what we'll do is we'll put all the links and everything on the YouTube with the video, and
oh, fab, yeah, I'll send you them
to access everything. And thank you so much for being a part of Changing Times and sharing your story. And
thank you for asking me.
No, it's a pleasure, because people want to see. I feel people want to see how businesses are adapting to now, and how they're going to carry on in the future. And you've certainly done that, and you're right, people have got to be more mindful of their own time and think of number one. That's like the saying, isn't it? Think of number one, and that's yourself, isn't it?
If you don't look after yourself, then you can't help others. So, and I think some people think that it's quite selfish, or the mindset was, well, if I go to the gym, or if I spend time on a little bit of self-care or meditation, or go out with friends, then you're being selfish. But you're not, because you need to recharge and look after yourself so that you can then serve others. So the more that you don't look after yourself, then it turns the other way, and then people have to look after you because you've done too much. So it's just reversing the mindset to say, well, if I look after myself first, I can then look after other people. It's the whole saying around when they tell us on the plane before we take off, make sure you put your own mask on before you help anyone else.
Yeah.
It's the same in life, isn't it? So I'm all for self-care. So I'm fine with that. I make sure I get my couple of hours a day, and then it stops me from losing it.
Well, thank you so much, Claire, and I'm sure people will be flocking to all your pages and
that's lovely.
Getting everything that you offer. And thank you so much.
And thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.